Hello everyone and welcome to APM Academy. In today's video, what we're going to go over is how to set up a new property within your AppFolio database. There's two ways, just like the owners that we looked at in our last video. The first is from our dashboard. You can go to the task on the right hand side, new property, or you can, from your dashboard, select properties and then new property. In today's video, we'll be making Smaug his multifamily residential unit. We're going to go ahead and create that today. In this first section, it's important to list the property name. This is just to help you find it easily within your AppFolio software via the search bar or any specific report that you can pull. The address, here in the property name and address, you can also select whether or not it's an affordable housing or Section 8 property. This next section, property information, is important in terms of the rental or the online posting settings. It's going to generate based off this description you put here. You can select your site manager if applicable. And you can select your owner's agent on the property, if applicable as well. You can also, for the posting settings, put the year it was built. And you select your management start date. Here in the rental information, this is where you can set the NSF fee for the property, whether a tenant bounces their payment. By default, most cases we see it's $35 or consistent with what the bank fee is. In the amenities tab, you can select whether or not certain furry friends are allowed, and then type out the amenities that the property consists of. This again will help when you post it online, as these are pretty typical keyword or hot words by tenants when looking up rental properties. The next section is the leasing settings. This is where you can set by default a specific lease template, which we'll show you how to create one of those in another video. And you can set the general addendums and lease attachments that you would also like to be sent out with every single lease generated. Same goes for renewal. You can set default renewal templates to be assigned to the property, addendums, and lease attachments. Here you can also set your renewal settings, whether or not you charge a rent increase per property or per renewal, or whether or not you do a percentage of the rent increase. So you can do a flat dollar amount or a percentage with each renewal. Now here on owners and financials, this is where we set the owner of the property. We will assign our Smaug real estate as being 100% owned, and you can set your contract expiration date. Here is also where you can set the reserve for the property and say standard 300, or if there's no reserve, you can leave it 0. You can also, depending on what your owner's preference is, you can set his owner distribution to be the net income after all the expenses are out, or you can say a flat rate of maybe $1,000 a month. Here's also where you will set the vendor 1099 payer. This will be, in most cases, the management company that you guys are under. And then per standard, by default, the fiscal year end will always be December for 1099 season. It is typical to see December only in use here for property management companies, but Some cases you can have the option to change as applicable. The next section is management fees. Here's where you can set your management fee for the property. When you create a brand new property, by default, it will start on the month that you're creating it. If there was a month prior that you needed to collect fees on, you can push this back to that month and it will post management fees for that prior month as well. You can also set it to where when the property is vacant to waive the management fees, and you can select your type of management fee, whether that be a percentage of the total rent or a flat fee. With the percentage, you can select your normal standard percentage, and you can select a maximum management fee and a minimum. So we can say 50, then no max. Another important section when it comes to management fees is going to be your lease fee and renewal fee. In this section under additional fees is where you can set it. Just like the management fees above, we see that you can do a percentage of the total lease, this will be charged based off the first month rent posted, or you can do a flat fee. And the same goes for the renewal fee. This percentage will be again calculated on the first month's rent collected upon the renewal is signed. Here you can also set your additional fees. This is very important in property setup, as this is one of the most common issues we've seen with cleanups that we help with. Here you will want to make sure that all the fees that you collect, whether it be late fees, application fees, maintenance, or any other applicable fee that you guys collect as the management company, we would want them to be added down here. That way during your management fee calculation, which we'll show in another video, you'll be able to collect on 100% of the fees that you are owed. If you do collect 100% of the fees, it's important to make sure that you check this box off as suppressed. That way the owner's not seeing it on their reports as income to them, as these funds, when paid in, go directly to you, the management company. The next section is the late fee policy details. This one, just like the management fees, lease fees, and renewal fees, this is where you can set it to be either a flat fee every single time a tenant is late, or you can say it's a percentage based off of the outstanding charges. In most cases, we see a flat fee, and we see that it's on every charge, and it posts whenever this grace period ends. Budgets, budget variance threshold allows you to set a warning or reminder based off the budget you generate on the property itself. We'll show that also in another video. Maintenance information is where you set your maintenance limit. This again is just based off of what the property owner desires, whether that be $500 for the year or $1,000. This is where you can set it here. Insurance is just the property insurance. And then other maintenance notes as needed as well. The next section is property groups. This one's important for your key reports if you're running multiple kind of entities within your AppFolio. Sometimes it is nice to separate them by property groups. And this allows you to pull reports based off those specific groups. Bank accounts is the very last section, and here's where you're going to add your rental trust. For this example, we'll just go with this property. Once all the information is entered, you can hit save. And now you're on the next section of adding your units. So just like creating the property, we have to give the unit a name. Here you can set the unit information. The unit information is going to be key for just noting when the unit's ready to be rented and when it's ready for showing. Here you can also add tags of maybe there's specific unit amenities that are different than the other units on the property. You can add those here. You can also set units that are purely for showing within buildings as a non-revenue unit. This allows you then to just have the unit here and post it online. without having to have it become accidentally occupied. For maintenance information, same thing. You can set specific unit notes on whether or not there's already known issues or items that need to be taken care of on this unit. Rental information is going to be important for when you post this unit online for listings. You can say how many bedrooms there are, how many bathrooms, the market rent, which from our dashboard video, this is what's going to pull on that report. How much the application fee is for the property, how much the security deposit is, inspection dates, rent status, legal rent, preferential rent, utilities included in lease, appliance included in lease, and your additional lease information. Just like what we saw with the property level, you can also set unit-specific amenities. You can set here as well marketing information for the unit for certain campaigns and different, maybe you recorded a YouTube video showing a walkthrough of the unit, you can post it here and then it will populate with your online posting. And that's how you create a property within AppFolio. For Smaug's first property, we recorded it as a multifamily. There are multiple different property types that you can select. So now we're going to go ahead and create a single family residence. Just like we started, same flow. You can either from your dashboard say new property, or you can go ahead and select the properties tab and select properties and new property. And then here we can select single family. Unlike the multifamily, with the single family, once you've entered all the property data and information, it purely will just save and be populated based off this one property page. There will be no unit pages to then have to upload similar information or different information. It'll just pull off of the property page itself. This one we will do. Just like the multifamily, here's where you can select there's an affordable housing property, input the property information, select it to be a non-revenue status if it's maybe a part of a multiplex and you guys are setting it up as a single family residence. Enter the rental information, the amenities, the marketing information, and the lease templates section as well. Here we'll add Smaug again. Just like we looked at the other property, you can select your payment type for the property owner, reserve funds, vendor 1099 payer for the company. Same thing with management fees. Set the start date, whether or not you waive it when vacant, and whether or not it's a flat percent with your minimum and maximum. Additional fees, same thing. Fees, percent. Late fee policies. Budget variance threshold, which again will be talked about when we go over budgets. Maintenance information, property groups, and bank accounts. On the properties, when wanting to upload images or pictures or anything of that nature, you can download your image. Then scroll down to the section here that says Photos, and then click and drag. This is where all your property photos and videos will live for the property. You can also add notes here as well. And assign them to your respective employees. You can also add attachments. Here in the attachment section is where you can post any previous management agreements, any previous reports sent from a potential prior management company, or even if you signed your management agreement outside of AppFolio, you can also download it as a PDF and post it here for your viewing needs. Thank you for watching APM Academy, brought to you by APM Help. If you have questions on the content, you can find us at apmhelp.com or reach us at info@apmhelp.com. Like, share, and subscribe for more.